Okay, welcome to Palindrome's Grow Log week 30. This is where I've got my cherry tomatoes in hanging baskets and a couple of the lemons in hanging baskets, which seems to be doing alright. But the first one's starting to ripe up and plenty of other big pods on there. So that's one plant, two in this basket. And there's also another couple here. So they're really starting to come along nicely now. And we've got some more tomatoes. So onto the greenhouse. So we've got a couple of turtle claw plants. One in the self-watering bucket doing much better than the other for growth. Some reasonably good chilies on there, which I've tasted a few of them and they are pretty peppy, nice and zesty, lovely and limey. So some nice chilies there. But again, this plant is doing alright, plenty of big chilies on there which are going nice and yellow now. We've got a few others outside, seeing as the weather's been nice. Big Jalokia, which is doing alright there. Hungarian hot wax. Jalapeno in a very small pot. And then we've got our marigolds with a few chili plants just at the front of the greenhouse, just to show the aphids who's boss. So we've got our Dawson Naga plant, which again getting pretty big now. So it's going to be 3 foot tall up my little grow frame. No pods forming, but plenty of flowers. So there's hope yet. We've got the cayennes down in the corner. Seem to be getting ones that go red seem to be drying quite quick on the plant, even though the plants are staying watered, but we'll keep an eye on that. And some standard capsicums. So a couple there, 1 or 2 ready for eating. We've got the plum tomatoes, so they're doing alright. We've got the Hungarian hot wax. It's like I say, these were South Devon Chili Farms hot wax, but they're definitely not milder than a jalapeno. They're about 10 times hotter, but they are a very nice chili. Just not what I was expecting, but like I say, very nice, and we'll definitely grow them again next year. We've got a plethora of jalapeno M's. There seems to be a mixed bunch. Some are small with a corking effect, and some are nice jalapeno size. And then we've got some out the same batch, which just look like standard jalapenos. So they all do taste the same. They're very nice. So I need to get some more of those picked. And then onwards to our Joe's long chilies, which you can see here. There's absolutely dozens and dozens of them. So we've now eventually started getting a few of them which are ripening up. So some nice little red tails on them. So that one's doing okay. And then on round to the F1 big bananas. Don't know whether we've got a bit of a disease going on here, because this is the third pepper that I've had that I've got some beige spots which seem to go soft. So keep an eye on them. Seem to be sporadic. Some plants are okay. We move down round here, we've got our Sea Spring Seeds green Thai curry plant. So not picked any that have been full size, picked a couple when they were smaller and they weren't good as small chilies, but as the full size ones, I'm going to give them another go. So I'm not going to give them a bad review just on the eating them before they were ripe. I move on up here. We can see that the other South Devon Chili Farm Scotch bonnets are definitely not Scotch bonnets, because 3 weeks on we can now see we've definitely got Friar's hat chilies, or Bishop's hat chilies, whatever you want to call them, and we've got quite a few growing on there now. So nothing ripe, but within the last 2 weeks they've all gone from being little pods to good sized chilies. So yeah, there's quite a few developing there, plenty more flowers. We're just letting them 3 plants work their magic now. If I sweep on round, we've got a couple of lemon plants here, so there's plenty of chilies growing. Again, nothing ripe just yet, but keep feeding them. Got to feed them again in a couple of hours time with this week's chili focus feed. Then we've got our Thai hot chilies. So these have only really started to grow in the last 2 weeks. The plants have been getting bigger. They're now about 3.5 to 4 foot tall. Wouldn't really say that they're fighting for the light, but they're definitely competing somehow. So yeah, nothing apart from green chilies, and there's a nice little hoverfly there, which, thankful to say, we're actually getting lots and lots of the hoverflies in here at the moment. Oh, I can't get a focus on him. There he is. Yeah, there's loads of them. So thankfully, if there are any aphids, these little beggars are keeping them at bay for us. So we had a problem where we had 2 Scotch bonnet plants which were hit by aphids, doused them off with a blast of the hose pipe, put them outside, and 2 weeks later we've actually brought them back in. So anyway, these are the red habaneros. So we've got some good sized hubs on there. Picked about a dozen so far, some little ones, some big ones, and they've been very, very hot. So hotter than the Scotch bonnets, which I've had a first couple of yesterday. Here we've got chocolate habanero, which we're starting to just get some pods forming. So nothing as yet, but there's hope. Right, come on back round. We've got some Scotch bonnet plants. So there's some there. Some here. We've got some ripe ones. We don't get all the plants to fall off. So there we go. There's a couple of Scotch bonnets. That one there ready to come off. They've been very nice, lovely and sweet. Definitely got a lovely Chinense flavour to them. Here we've got a cayenne plant that's just doing what it wants, not giving it any support. Got another red habanero plant here, which again, that's about 1.5 foot in size, which they're all about that size now. So these are all the red habaneros. We've got the Injinjawala plants, which were only sowed a couple of months ago, so for the age they're doing particularly well. Just nice if we can get a few chilies off those. So we've got some more of the F1 big bananas back around this side. So again, to give you a comparison of the hand to the size of the chili, well, the actual capsicum, because they're not hot. They're not a bad sized pepper. So they taste slightly different than a standard capsicum, which is nice. We've got some standard jalapenos. So a few fruit on there. And there's this view of the Dorset Naga. So yeah, it's getting bigger. So there's hope. Yeah, we've got about another foot and a bit before it hits the roof, but then hopefully it's still going to start bushing out. So view of the Joe's longs from this side. So good sized Joe's longs, got to be a good 25 centimetres, which most of them seem to be now. So yeah, absolutely dozens. I'd say there's probably about 100, 120 chilies in there, and they taste superb green. Moving on down, we've got another Butchalokia here. I'm not doing much, but there's a few little pods starting to form, and then a bit more flower drop. We've got just the standard Nagas, which were seeds that were saved from the Tesco Bedfordshire Super Nagas. So they're all doing okay now. They're probably losing a bit of light on this side of the greenhouse, but a bit of give and take. So yeah, doing okay. We've not had much in the way of plants being nibbled. Things along the back wall where we found the odd little slug, that's been nibbled, but nothing else really. But yeah, that's the week 30 update. Chat back again in another 3 weeks time for another update.